David Bott?
Yes.
Ah.
You're not here, I don't think. We're not following you.
Which one? Not very expensive.
Okay, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
Significant amount of dollars.
What day was it?
Yeah.
The only one that don't get that many people in $300. All right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the August 18th City Council meeting, Grosse Pointe Farms. If we could all stand and recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Kizicki, roll call.
Councilmember Wood. Here. Mayor Pro Tem Conrad Goldberg.
Here.
Councilmember Ritchie.
Here.
Mayor Theros.
Here.
Councilmember Donovan.
Here.
Councilmember Soroka.
Here.
Councilmember Bowie.
Here. Item 3, reading and consideration of the minutes of the regular meeting and closed session of July 14, 2025. Does anybody on council have any changes or corrections to those? Seeing none, they are approved as submitted. Item 4, consideration of a request from administration to rehabilitate the Pier Park Community Building staircase and deck. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Sorry. I was looking over it. It's in the corner.
See if I move this other way, so I don't take that off.
Sir?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Here today, this has been a project that originally started about a year and a half ago with just replacing the railing and staircase that was not the greatest. It was wobbly, it was just needed to be replaced. A year ago, last week at the Ice Cream Social, we had a resident who was up on the top deck up there and walked, and it was really soft, and our staff pulled it up, and sure enough, some of the boards underneath there were rotting out and were a mess. So the project that we thought was just going to be railing and staircase turned into a bigger project. We brought out some qualified contractors to take a look at the project. When they pulled it up, they looked at it, they realized that not only was the underneath boards, all the 2x4s rotting, but the membrane roof that is over the veranda was also failing. So after getting some qualified bids from these companies, we talked to Makos. Makos came in, Makos Builders came in with the best qualified bid in order to complete the project. These boards, 2x4s, are going to be all completely replaced. The membrane roof that's under there will also be replaced. Railing, staircase, everything else will be all replaced with new Trex decking, TimberTech, an alternative for Trex. So we're here today to get a approval from council for an amount of $122,250 to have that project replaced and open that back up, since it has been closed for a little bit over a year, actually a year exactly, from the public being out there because of unsafe conditions. So I can answer any questions.
Questions from council?
Chris, James, is this in the budget?
We do have some funds that we had set aside, started last year, I think, that we carried over, so we'll be able to cover it through our capital projects fund.
Good. And to you and also to Tim, in the future, could you include the bids that you get? Like,
Sure.
I'll just use an example, HRC's, on the next item. You know, HRC outlines their bids.
Absolutely. I can definitely do that.
Just so that we can see what you got, and we can, I think it's a reasonable request from us to ask to see the.
Would you like to know them? I have them written down if you'd like to, for the record, if you want to see as well.
I think that would be good.
Okay. So Makos was again $122,250. A&B Builders out of Grosse Pointe Woods was $144,527. Grosse Pointe Builders came in at $122,849, but that was to use the original Trex decking that we had, not replacing it. So, based on those quotes, those two last companies were very close, but they were going to reuse the Trex decking that we currently had rather than replacing it and making it brand new.
Thank you.
Okay.
Chris, with approval tonight is to give you the approval, I'm assuming we will, but,
Yes.
when can it, work begin, and when will it be completed?
So we are anticipating it'll start right after Labor Day, once the pool closes and our numbers kind of dwindle down. And from what we've talked to them, they said that it'd probably be about a 2-week turnaround, weather dependent, to get it completely fixed and reopened.
Will it affect your offices, or the offices that are there?
No, it'll just affect the veranda underneath a little bit, where we'd have to close that off just for anything falling through, anything during that construction period. But that would be the reason why we wait till after Labor Day.
Thanks, sir.
You're welcome.
Under the roofing, what kind of material are they using?
So it is and again, I'm not exactly in it, but it's a EPDM 60 mil roofing, membrane roofing that they're gonna use that goes underneath it above the veranda. So you won't be seeing it, but it's just underneath the actual second story deck.
Those rafters have rotted, so you're gonna replace them?
Yeah, all the boards are gonna get replaced.
Okay, are you gonna use regular wood again, or
Yeah.
are you gonna use womanized?
It's gonna be womanized lumber, but it won't be any Trex or anything like that. It's just gonna be regular.
At least be womanized.
Yeah.
Weather.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, pressure treated.
Honorable Mayor, could we have those bids added to the council package?
Yes.
Not just the quote, but the actual documents?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Again, just kind of for the record here, but it's important for folks to understand that it's not just replacing the deck here, we're actually replacing the roof. The age of the roof now is about, what, 25 or 30 years old, probably?
25.
It was like the first year I was on council.
Okay, so there you go. So what it's to say is this is in the normal lifespan of the roof. We're not seeing this early. The EPDM material I was looking up lasts for anywhere between 20 and as long as 40 years.
Okay.
So we should have good life after that period of time. And for me, when I looked at the number, that seems like a lot for just the deck, but actually what we're doing is we're replacing the roof and doing the deck material. And I appreciated the information here about we're getting new wood, or new Trex decking material, so,
Yes.
I think that all makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, and that'll be the staircase all the way on up.
You're right,
So-
and that's good, because that has particularly long life as well. So, and as we see here, it's outlasted the roof.
Yes, it did.
Good to have.
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Go.
Mr. Lilly?
No, Your Honor, I just have a motion to be made whenever it gets done.
Anyone in the public want to talk on this topic? Andrew?
Andrew from Trail 6 Fishing. I was just curious, that Trex material tends to blow with time. It doesn't seem like too well. We get any kind of expect it's going to last that long? These steps, or the Trex, the deck Trex, or just steps are Trex material? Is that what I hear?
But they're supported underneath though, right? There's a substructure to them, Andy, to prevent that.
Okay, because that's the weak link right there.
Yeah, no, there's a substructure underneath them to support them.
What Andy's mentioning is true, because they've gone to a way of securing it with rails underneath. Hopefully there's no mistake there.
Yeah, the stringers and everything will be there for the actual steps. And then obviously underneath will be supported by 2x4s and everything like that to ensure. The current Trex decking that's there is still in actually decent shape. But when we go to recreate and everything like that, the builder, Makos, wasn't confident that they could get it to fit right back the way it is currently. So that's why we're going with all new Trex decking.
Anybody else in the public? Mr. Johnson?
Dan Jensen, 336 Kirby Road. Chris, are there any rules in place currently, or do you anticipate passing any new rules on restrictions on how old the kids can go up there without any adults? 14, 12?
There's currently no rules on age requirements up there. We do kind of keep an eye out, especially during the summer, regarding anybody trying to get up on the top of the roof or anything like that, but we don't have any rules in place or any ideas that we're creating policy on that.
So right now, no anticipation of any rules.
Mr. Jensen, I'll remind you, that's not up for discussion, it's about the replacing the deck.
Well, no, it's up for discussion.
Robert's rule, not the motion, it's not the issue.
No, that's good.
Anybody else in the public? All right, public comment is closed. What is the pleasure of council?
I have a motion, Mr.
Mr.
Mayor.
Lilly.
I move to approve approve the proposal of Makos Builders as outlined in the August 18, 2025 memorandum from Chris Galatas for the replacement of the second-story deck in the community building of Pier Park for a total cost not to exceed $122,500, please.
Is there a motion? Got support? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Chris,
Well, I
appreciate
just
it.
have one comment about Chris. There's a lot of activity at the park, and you all are doing a great job.
Here, here.
Thank you.
When I'm there for events, you're always present. Your crew, team members are always present. Everybody's polite. You're always smiling, driving around, being available. And thank you for timely response to emails and calls and stuff like that. And just keep doing a great job.
Thank you.
People love the park.
Thank you, Sarah.
Okay, you're
Much
welcome.
appreciated.
All right, thanks, Chris. All right, item 5, consideration of a request from administration to approve contract number 4, Country Club of Detroit Water Main Project. Mr. Wiesbaum.
Thank you. If council recall, as part of our sewer separation, there was actually four different contracts that were related to that project. One is the force main, which is currently under construction, now through gravity main. Construction of a pump station at the corner of Ross and Shell Pond, and then separation of the inland district between between Mack Avenue and Shell Pond, north of Ross. So those were the 3 projects that were related to the sewer work that's being done as part of a bond issuance. Separate to that, we had a contract 4, which is in relationship with the agreement we made with Country Club of Detroit, when we were able to obtain the easements through the golf course for the force main. And as part of that agreement, the city agreed to replace the existing water line that serves the pump station for irrigation. And it basically extends from Lakeshore Road, from Lakeshore, from Ross, a 12-inch main, and then going across a property on Ross, through the golf course to the pump house, which will be reconstructed by the club later this year. We were successful in getting several bids, 7 bids in total. We were also fortunate that bids came back very favorably from our original estimates, with the total bid amount from Intercity Contracting in a total amount of $559,507.35. We also received an estimate from HRC for construction engineering at a cost not to exceed $99,000. Then adding contingency on the construction portion, we are recommending that council approve the total contract cost in an amount not to exceed $715,458.09. With the award for the new sewer line going to Edward City Contracting, LLC.
Any questions from the west side of the council? Okay.
Just a comment.
Sure.
This is a lot of money, and it should just be known that just because there might not be discussion or comments, this has been something we have to take a look at thoroughly. We started this project and then when we approved the project, so, just for those that might not be aware of it, it is a major, major project that we're undertaking, and it has gone through an enormous amount of scrutiny and review.
And the only thing I'd add to that is, it's a lot of money to outlay for this particular element, but that's because we saved a lot of money by going through the golf course, and a lot of headache, because ripping up, Ross, what is that?
And there's some advantage to the overall system as well, because through this, we are actually tying into an existing 8-inch main that goes through the golf course, so we're creating kind of a loop system, which has benefits as well in terms of maintaining water pressures and flow throughout that district.
Okay. Any questions from the public? Andy?
Andy, Drill 6 Fisher. So this is going to come out of the water bond, or is this bond paid for this project?
This is not part of the bond issuance, this is
Okay.
going to be separate.
Okay.
It's a water main, so it will be coming out of the water and sewer fund, correct?
But this is replacing a very, very old pipe, right?
It's replacing older 8-inch main, and we're actually, through this process, we'll be upsizing that main to a 12-inch.
So, it's very expensive, if that broke a couple of places once or twice, that would be a chunk of money to repair it, right?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Anything else from the public? Public comment is closed. What is the pleasure of council? I'll entertain a motion as set forth in the memo. Somebody wants to make it?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Item number 6. Consideration of a request from the administration to approve the Michigan Association of Police Bargaining Agreements.
I can take it, I'll start it off, and John or Tim like that, for free, but the memo really outlines the terms of a tentative agreement that we reached with the MAP, Michigan Association of Police, for our union that represents the public safety officers, our fire specialists, our dispatchers, and our parking enforcement specialists. So of our 3 unions, this is the last contract that we're selling in terms of the 3-year contract. This contract expired June 30th of this year. It was a little bit late in the negotiations with the other 2 unions, but I think what was agreed upon was a good outcome for both parties. We have a wage proposal that again mimics what we've provided the other unions and city employees for a 3-year period, with some other modifications and benefits that some of which will actually we feel result in some savings, and we're topping it off with a signing bonus for the group, where each member of the group will receive a one-time $2,000 signing bonus for each member that will be excluded from base pay. So if there's any questions, then.
Any questions, council?
Absolutely, I have a question of Shane in terms of just relatively speaking, are we very competitive with the other grocery companies on all of these particular items? Would you say we're at the top, in the middle, lower? Where would you say?
It's always, I always tell our union group that you have to look at the full package, because, different things, I think we're stronger on than some other of the cities. There are aspects of the package that I think we look very favorable. And in terms of wages, which is the biggest, I think, consideration for most of the membership, we're not the highest in terms of, overall salaries for the gross points, but we are definitely at the top, the higher end. You saw more movement in some of the other contracts this time, maybe a little bit higher percentage from some of the other communities, because the fact they were lagging behind a little bit on wages. So, again, I think this puts us in a good position.
So, I've done this for 30-some years, collective bargaining. This is a great deal, but I say a great deal for our officers who are all of our employees are very important, but these officers put their lives on medication, and they're getting paid well. But one thing that we really should think about too is that it's hard for younger employees to think about the long view, because, does somebody build a 30-year career or 20-year career? One of the attractive things about our community is our pension and our healthcare, retiree healthcare. You're going to come here and you're going to know if you build a career here, your money's going to be there, right? And a lot of communities, frankly, the vast majority of communities in Michigan can't say that. So that in itself should be an attractive reason, a recruiting reason for people who want to build a career in public safety. So hopefully that's one of the many reasons why they want to come work for us, but it is a very strong reason. Hutch?
I agree. All of the contracts saw benefits, pensions remain in place. They're not having to fund any of their health care. The city created bigger incentives. One of the best contracts I've seen since I've been here. So think it's a win-win.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I had a question, just on number 3, shift premiums. It says, and it could be I'm reading this wrong, it says shift premiums of 0.75 of base wage for afternoon shifts, and then later on it says afternoon shifts have been eliminated. Is that morning shift?
For public safety officers, so that would only apply to, an afternoon shift would only apply to a dispatcher.
Okay.
So where they have, so there's those, they're on an 8-hour shift.
Okay.
Our PSOs, the public safety officers now are on 12-hour shifts, so
Okay.
there's no afternoon shift to get a premium on. It would just be those who are on the midnight shift would get a premium for that.
Okay, great, thank you.
John?
Mr. Mayor, thank you. As I told you the other day, I had heard from somebody outside of our city and expressed to you that I think one of the feathers in your cap when you leave us in several months is the fact that the city of Grosse Pointe Farms stands unmatched to most every community in the United States with regard to our obligations in terms of retiree health care benefits and how we are funded in the United States. And we are also in the top 1% in Michigan in terms of funding our other pension obligations. That's being recognized not only here, but it's being recognized by people outside of our city. And this is certainly good news for our public safety officers, et cetera, who, as we saw just recently, won't hesitate to jump in the lake and rescue people and do CPR on somebody for 30 minutes to bring them back to life. So kudos to you, Shane, the negotiation team, but this is being recognized by others when other local communities are having such severe problems and are under state control with regard to their obligations for retirees. We have no one picketing outside, our former employees are happy, and we intend to keep it that way.
Thank you. All right, anybody in the public have any questions?
I second it.
Slow down, you're almost. All right, do I have a motion to approve the proposed contract presented to us in the August 12, 2025 memo submitted by Shane, Eric, and Tim?
I'll make that motion,
Do I support?
Support.
All right, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Much, guys, thank you, and everybody.
Thank you.
Great job on the team. Item number 7, the consent agenda. Does anybody want any of items A, B, or C withdrawn for individual consideration from the consent agenda?
A.
Anything else? All right, do I have a motion to approve consent agenda items D and C?
So moved.
Support.
All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 7A, consideration of a request from, we have to have a purpose, it's gotta be the dog, it's like going to hospital. From the administration to purchase 2 Avanti multi-purpose loaders from the Public Works, for the Public Works Department. Mr. Wood, you had a question?
It's a holder tractor?
Also?
It says holder tractor.
Oh, the holder tractor is what they're currently using for the snow removal and the leaf collection.
What is one?
It's the little tractor that's got the enclosure, and then they attach either the power front or the contraption that they've invented essentially down there that pushes the leaves up the little slide into the back of the truck.
Yeah, okay, I got you. Thank you. That was my question.
It's a miniature Pokemon.
I didn't know what one was.
Neil?
Oh, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Any other questions on item A? Anybody in the public have any questions? All right, public comment is closed. Do I have a motion to approve the expenditure in item 7A in the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion, Willie.
Support.
All right, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, item 8, you have a public safety report in front of you. Again, for unlocked vehicles overnight, please lock your valuables away. Other business, Mr. Reside.
Just a few items, just a quick update on some of our major construction projects going on this week. I'll touch a little bit on the sewer project, and I'll turn it over to Matt to discuss where we are with the road program. Sewer project is progressing well. I know I think some have heard some rumors that, things are falling behind schedule and things are not moving along as quickly as hoped, but in reality, we are on schedule, is the good news. This is really probably the most disruptive part of this whole major heavy-duty construction downtown Newport. And, we definitely have a lot of sympathy for our residents that are going through downtown Newport. It's, unfortunately, it's just a necessary evil to get this project done. And they're buried, pipe 5 feet wide, 20 feet underneath the roadway right now. The good news is we're about halfway through down Newport the street, and we've gotten probably through the deepest section. We're now we're actually at a junction chamber where we're lowering, the pipe raises up to 5 feet, and then it will be going up higher as we progress. So things are moving, will be moving quicker as we continue. We continue to issue now, instead of a weekly update, we're issuing, this is from today, a daily update of where we're working, as of today, and where we expect to be in the very near future. So residents have an idea of when construction will be taking place in front of their homes. But again, I can't, thank our residents enough for their patience. It's difficult, it's dusty, it's noisy, but we are making progress.
It's not just Concord, it goes all the way over to Waverly and down Vermont going, it's all over.
Fairfield is the staging area, and so that whole, extensive area where we're staging equipment and materials, and yes, you're right, that's impacted. We've been on our contractor to, as best as possible to keep that area open and clean. They did quite a bit of work at our direction this weekend to try to.
We hose the streets a little bit.
We have hosed and brooms and.
They wash the streets.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of dust for those machines, so let's see what happens with the rainfall tomorrow.
Okay.
A little bit, but yeah, you pick up a lot of dust that we get hurt. I struggled to get today, and it's dusty.
So the goal is, again, to complete at least the installation of that pipe, through Tonic 4 by the mid part of next month, and then we'll be getting into the restoration work, and again, the intent is to actually, repave Tonic 4 this year.
Anything else on that?
That's it. And then I'll turn it over to Matt just to brief update on roads.
Yeah, so they have put the first course of asphalt down on Muir between McMillan and Curtsible, Fisher between the Boulevard and Jefferson Lakeshore, and then Moran between the Boulevard and Lakeshore. Muir, all the concrete, the curbs, the driveways, all the sidewalks, all that stuff has been completed. Moran is supposed to be done tomorrow, and then they're going to hop over to Fisher on Wednesday, with the goal of completing Moran and Fisher before school gets in session. I'm confident Moran, Fisher's going to be a little closer, just because on the Grosse Pointe City side, they're tearing out all the curb and all the sidewalks from the Boulevard to Lakeshore, and just redoing the whole thing, because it's just a mess. But it'll be close. I think there's a good chance they might get it done, but we wanted them to wait to fully complete the paving on those 3 roads before opening up this block here, and then Christine and Carmel. That would be like phase 2, so to speak, and then the last section would be Merriweather from Charlevoix all the way to the Boulevard. So that's a pretty long stretch, but it's a straight shot, and the curbs are in pretty good shape on that one, so we think it'll go faster.
Any questions from you?
All right, and then two quick other items. Just a reminder, tomorrow, the Parks and Harbor Committee administration will be holding a public meeting, informational meeting, on where we are with the proposed aquatic improvements, our pool project at Pier Park. This will really be our opportunity to outline the work that has been done by the pool committee and Parks and Harbor, and garner public input, and really give people an opportunity to see where we're at and provide feedback. So that's down at the community building tomorrow at 6 p.m. And then last, I will request at the end of this meeting, just for a really brief closed session, to discuss real estate matter.
Going back to the water. So this would be perfect scenario. Concord will be finished 1st of November, November 15th-ish.
For paving and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, but mid-November would be what we would.
And then November, whatever, the country club piping, right, for the winter. And then moving on to Chalfont this time next year.
Yes, yes, so our plan is for contract 2 and 3, which are the pump station and the sewer separation of that southwest quadrant. We're probably about 90% done with those engineering plans. The plan would be to bid that out at the end of this calendar year, with construction starting in 26.
26. Well, spring of 26.
Probably spring.
Okay. And then how long would that's Chalfont?
And then we're construction, we're pump station for about 2 years.
2 years, all right, okay.
He's ready for any terrible one.
Yeah, are you gonna be there?
Yeah, I know, that's absolutely safe. Neil and John.
Yeah, so I had a few different things. Number one, just a question for Shane about, as per, kind of see what happens, and I'm really glad to hear that there'll be a way for people to see after the fact what's decided and discussed. But one of the things I wanted to ask is, do we have an expectation of when we expect aquatic facilities before council? Do you have an idea of roughly when?
Well, I hopefully fairly quickly. I think the idea is, there's a lot of work has gone to. I think several council members have seen it because they've been.
That's our chair.
They've been involved on Carson Harbor, but I think after, the objective now is to get further input, and once we have that input, then we have, then I think we'll be in a position to come back and with our path forward.
Yeah, and I think the important thing for folks to understand is that tomorrow's event, just like the whole process has been, is to take in information, to take in thoughts and perspectives, that nothing is baked until it's done, and frankly, until the council votes on something, everything, to a certain extent, is malleable. And folks should understand. And what I just wanted to, number one, compliment you and Chris and the whole team and the administration that's been leading the process, because I think this has been one of the more open and thoughtful and really kind of engaging all the different sorts of constituencies that use the pool. I think it's just been a really good process so far. I know that will continue, and it's important for people to understand that you still have a lot of voice in the process. And so speak up. Don't just speak up if you think something's not great. Speak up if you think something's great and you're excited about it, because that's important. The second thing I did want to note is I was looking at the public safety report, and it brought up a couple of things that I've been thinking a lot about, which I noticed in the juvenile incidents in particular. On July 1st, you had a moped with 2 kids without a driver's license getting pulled over. Then you have an electric dirt bike, mini bike reckless. And what I am increasingly concerned about, and frankly I don't know if we can deal with it on a municipal level or it has to be a state level, but I think there is a problem of young people under the age of 16 who don't have any sort of driver's license, essentially being put in charge of electric motorcycles. And my concern right now is, so I don't think we can say you have to be 16 in order to operate an e-bike in our community. If we could, that would be my preference. But I wanted to check in from an ordinance perspective. Am I right in assuming that you cannot operate an electric bike on the sidewalk?
Yeah,
you're correct. Yeah, I mean, and so that's something that parents have to make sure that if their kid has an electric bike, it should not be going down the sidewalk, because essentially you've got walkers, you've got people with strollers contending with the equivalent of a motorcycle on the sidewalk, and that's not acceptable. But I would actually hope, frankly, I'm a fan of these e-bikes. I think it's a great way to get around. It adds a little bit of health, it adds some independence, and it's certainly cheaper than a car for a lot of folks. But it may have to be dealt with at a state level, because I don't think you should be operating an electric vehicle like that without the proper
Neil, these national trends slowly work their way around the country. So it's people riding ATVs, it's people riding dirt bikes on the streets when they're really not, they're off-road, it's e-bikes. Heck, when I was growing up, it was mini bike,
yeah.
right?
People
And
jogging in the
go-karts.
streets with strollers.
Yeah, so, what do you have anything you want to add to this, or can we just?
No, I agree. We try to balance everything, you know, because we see, like I say, we see people jogging with baby strollers in the streets too, coming around corners, blind corners with cars, and we try to balance it as best we can. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's everywhere, in terms of kids on e-bikes and
Well,
mopeds and
but
mini-bikes.
if it's not something we can do by ordinance, then this is something we should, raise up to the Kevins of the world.
Yeah.
And, and say this is something we have to address, because it
Yeah.
is getting, the bigger cities see a lot of it, and again,
Yeah.
things slowly come here, but, it's a problem around the country.
And the
E-bikes particularly, with the DoorDash people who are delivering on the e-bikes, and they're just flying just to get the deliveries up.
And what I'd say is that until we have state regulation on it, it's personal responsibility. And if you have a young person with an e-bike, it's your responsibility as a parent to make sure that they're doing the right thing.
Yep.
I wanted to comment things. We have a meeting with the Public Policy Committee, of the Michigan Municipality this Friday, in which I serve as a member. And, I'll bring it up,
Sure.
if any municipalities have gotten into that.
The council's groundbreaking, we have our Bitcoin
Yeah.
ordinance, and
Yeah.
now we're talking about e-bike. Let's go.
I think there are some
Continue to do more.
regulations on the speed of e-bikes sold, so there is that, maybe we can look at that, talk about that. Let me go back to the pool. Having served on the pool committee and also in our last meeting, the Park and Recreation Committee, this has been reviewed, and we have a concept, and, I don't want to steal the thunder of our chair, but it's my impression that in how Shane is presenting this to both those committees, and so both of those committees, by the way, are open. All right, they're open to the public and they're public. We're having a public hearing, that's the third one, that's the third meeting. So the concept is being presented, and when you see this presentation of the concept and the people that have been involved, I think it's really going to alleviate a lot of the different, frankly, rumors about what we're thinking of. And to echo Neil's statement, yeah, the public hearings to offer people that want to provide input, but not to start at zero ground and design something. First, look at the concept. And then, let's see, we can build on it, or we can go ahead and we can revise it, but let's give the concept a fair viewing, because it's very impressive, and it has been a hell of a lot of thought behind it.
Here, here.
I should be thankful.
You were after me, she jumped you, so.
No, I'm glad you're here.
I think I raised my hand to him, I raised my hand to him, so it's okay.
Mayor Pro Tem Wilberding did. I want to stress to everybody that I indeed agree with the comments. This is a very exciting project going forward. I hope that we have a packed house, not only in-house tomorrow, but online as well. And this is a concept at this point, but our committee and the City of Grosse Pointe Farms over the past several years has made a concerted effort to let the public know as much as possible. We've had at least 5 or 6 external meetings so far with regard to the proposed concept of the new aquatic center. It is very exciting. We have taken literally many suggestions from members of the public who were there, and in fact with the Grosse Pointe Public Schools, the administration has, with other parts. I had a city manager call me the other day from Grosse Pointe Shores indicating that they're wide open in terms of use of our lifeguards and things to make arrangements, having all these plans for the City of Grosse Pointe Farms. It's really remarkable, the attention to detail. So we hope everybody's there tomorrow. We're going to continue to be very open with regard to these plans. And then Shane will talk more tomorrow, but we have to fund it as well. So we're looking for some generous individuals, and we're looking to keep any bond issuance to a minimum, so to speak, but it is an expensive project. It's a much-needed project, and we'll see everyone tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Thank you. Sorry.
Any other business? Well, I'll just kind of be clear on this. So, this is where I say, this is towards my last meeting. I've been around this place a few times, many years. And what people have to understand, our residents have to understand, you have to consider things as a council when we're not going to be here anymore. I'll be long dead when people are still enjoying what we're building today and what we're financing today. And so, you know, it's really incumbent upon a council and an administration to look at 20, 30-year horizons. And yes, we'll have some short-term pain on funding the sewer separation, on funding these improvements at the park. You know, we pay help to better our community. So I hope that when people do come tomorrow, the one thing they don't say is, I did not know about this. It has been all over our website. It has been here at meetings. It has been there. But we're looking for constructive information from people. And I really want to commend the committee, my fellow council members, the administration, on both of these projects. It's a lot of hard work. You know, we do get emails that aren't necessarily good morning, thank you for the great job you did today. So often we're reading long emails that are just the opposite of that, all of us. And, but that comes with the territory. But nonetheless, I've always, in the now 24 years I've been on council, every council person has always tried to vote, bring things that people for generations to come will enjoy. And I think everybody does it with a good heart and a good mind to get there. So thank you for all the work that you guys have done in the administration, my fellow council members, pension, Parks and Harbor, everything, all the committees we're all on. Thank you for all the great audit and budget, everything that they've done. So, and these are just, you know, these are two enormous projects. I mean, combined, you're talking $60 million.
Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
And when you have a project that are triple your annual budget, you're going to have to find a way to fund them. So, a little bit of pain for us is going to be enjoyed by generations to come. So, the public, have any public comment today? Other business? Anybody? All right. With that, public comment is closed. So, the city manager would like us to go into a closed session to discuss real estate matters. We will not, for the public, we will not be returning to vote on anything. So I need a motion and I need a roll call vote from Mr. King.
I move to go into closed session to discuss real estate, proposed real estate matters.
Support.
Okay, Mr. Kazicki, roll call, please.
Councilmember Wood. Yes. Mayor Pro Tem Conrad Wolverine.
Yes.
Councilmember Ritchie.
Yes.
Mayor Theros.
Yes.
Councilmember Donovan.
Yes.
Councilmember Soroka.
Yes.
Councilmember Luby.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. We're adjourned in public session. We go into closed session. Everybody have a wonderful and safe Labor Day weekend, and we'll be looking forward to the Grosse Pointe Farms fireworks.